we are here in the Bahamas.
We are going to make it right.
If you became a millionaire, would you keep working? You know?
Great job, brother. It was fun to meet you.
What's going on right now is California's trying to figure out.
Oh, I can.
Welcome to BitBoy Crypto. I always get hung up on that last shot, and it always throws me off. I have this like nice intro, then oh god, there we go. You see me wearing the peach, the salmon, I guess, more of a peach, similar to the Dumb and Dumber suit. But this is just a JPEG junkie, and I guess you know what? I keep buying NFTs. I can't stop, so maybe I'm the dumbest one. But you know what? I'm pro NFTs. How are we all doing today? Today is Tuesday, January 31st, last day of the month. Bitcoin monthly close coming in. Is it going to come in as the strongest January in 10 years? Certainly looks like it. We're down a little bit, but only slightly. A great show today. We're going to talk about some stonks are tumbling, not looking good. Some breaking news with Celsius you're going to want to know about. Dookie Dash, is it over for all the monkeys? And also MATIC. MATIC getting back in the news and some library stuff. And, of course, some stuff with XRP. How are we doing? No, I don't have the full sweatsuit. I don't think Kat likes the pants. She says it shows the DZ bulge, and she's not a fan of it. And I understand it, so I want to respect that. But yeah, DZ, International Man of Mystery. Nothing mysterious about me. I like Bitcoin. I like JPEGs. And that's all I like. But I don't like JPEGs on my Bitcoin.
I was about to say.
Do not put NFTs on the blockchain. I don't think we have a story about that. What are your thoughts on NFTs existing on Bitcoin?
I mean, I think a lot of it is going to, it's something to talk about when nothing else interesting is going on. I guess it's boring time, but realistically speaking, I don't think it's going to last. It's just a phase. I think it's kind of stupid, the censoring part of things. It's a little bit of a troll is kind of how I feel about it.
Yeah, it's funny like seeing some of the maxis who are so anti-NFTs just saying, people are like, well, isn't this a valid Bitcoin transaction? They're like, no. Well, then how? Does that mean Bitcoin's code is broken? No, they're cheating. Yeah. You're like, okay, like you can't have both things here.
The dumbest take is like, oh, this is an attack on the Bitcoin network. That's getting this is a hack. This is an attack. We need to stop this, attack vector or whatever. And it's just like,
so Kelly, Bitcoin is slow enough. Yeah, we don't need to make it like, hey, I just want to buy this cup of coffee. Like. All right, 20 minutes later, okay, we got a whole new round of Bitcoin transactions. Everybody can... No, we know about Lightning Network. We love Jack Mahler. I've seen him speak. He's a good guy. Speaking of seeing Jack Mahler speak, we're getting into the NFT and the crypto ecosystem of conferences. Are you ready for conference season?
Nope. Oh, no, it's fine. Conferences are fine. I like staying home right now.
Yeah, we're doing some preliminary planning with NFT NYC. I don't want to share any details, but hopefully we'll see some of y'all there. Let's get into the show. All right, make sure you follow me on Twitter, DZ_BTC. We're still at 39,600. I'm trying to get to, I definitely can pass 40K, I think, by Valentine's. So that's going to be my Valentine's Day challenge. My main issue is I just don't tweet enough. It's a hassle, man, when you see all those other people doing like 800 tweets a day. I work. I do other things. All right, make sure you're catching up to crypto with the book here. We are just moving along with the tour. Tour's going great. I saw a video from yesterday. I think it was maybe AJ or from last night. What was that? Was that Phoenix he was at? Or no, Austin?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, we'll have to, you know what? Let's just go pull up Johnny. Or not Johnny. Let's see. What is AJ's? AJ writes crypto here. AJ writes. It should pop up. Let's see. AJ's been doing a really good job of, just sharing pictures from the BitSquad. Hey, I see a junkie, Controlled Substance. Shout out to Controlled. I think I followed him this morning, actually. All right, so here it goes. Oh, it's Chicago. This is 14 hours ago. And even though it's 6 degrees, the BitSquad came out. So is that Spiderwolf? I just want to say, hey, big shout out to the group that came out. Look, this viewed almost 10,000 times. Hey, Spider, how you doing? So, yeah, it seems like it's going well. Do you happen to know the next city?
Yeah, it's on the website. Hold on.
Yeah, we'll have to go to the website here. But hey, while you're at the website, hey, maybe check out the cruise. The cruise is still going along, and I think we have 1 day left. No. So you have today, tomorrow, and then it ends on the 2nd. So please hurry up, get your registration in. If you do it this way, you save like $500. Don't get FOMO. Don't see us all about to have a good time in April, and then you just FOMO in and you pay an extra half of an ETH. If you go in, you buy it now, you end up saving a little bit of money there.
Next couple cities after Chicago, Minneapolis, Boston, right. DC, and then back home.
Then Atlanta, right? Yeah. So big shout out to Minneapolis. Minneapolis nicer than I expected. It's got a whole tunnel system. I only went out there because of Gary V. And then I bought some shoes. Oh wait, no, that was TJ. All right,
that was a long
let's
time
see.
ago.
Let's get into coin market cap. How are we doing? All right, we're still 1.05 trillion. Not too trill to me. I want to get up to 1.1, but we're still kind of hanging around. And also, it's almost like a bot is just making sure that it's 50 billion. Yet again, a 50 billion 24-hour volume. Bitcoin dominance literally unchanged from yesterday, 42.4, and ETH coming in at 18.5. Hey, guys, gas change, it was 30 yesterday, so now it's 29. So, I mean, this is the definition of flat right now with the markets. But the price, oh my God, I swear to God, I didn't plan it. I didn't know it was going to say 0.0. I was going to say, but the price is moving a little bit, I'm sure. No, literally flat. This is the definition of a flat day. I can't wait to see Frank try to jump through some hoops. No, he'll tell you what's coming up, though. Maybe not so much the past 24 hours. ETH up a little bit. It had dropped slightly yesterday, so now it's back on the uptick, but only a little bit. BNB up 1.3%. XRP up slightly. Cardano, maybe it's the stable coins. I don't know what's happening here, but now it is up 3.3%. But Doge just crossed into the double digits territory, up 10% right now, knocking on a dime's door right here, knocking on a dime. I wanted to buy in at a nickel and then sell at 15 cents. I didn't catch it, but I still think there's a little bit of upside with Doge, but don't be surprised if it retraces down to 7 cents or so. Polygon, largely flat here. Polkadot, Litecoin having a little bit of a movement up. Avalanche, a little bit of a movement down. If we go to the top gainers right now, hope your coins are on here. T coming through, but it's down on the weekly. And so if that is a token you're maybe trying to accumulate, I saw in Joe Paris's crypto bubbles, it was, I think, his biggest gainer of the day. So T is really on the way up here. Doge also in that list, DYDX, and then Immutable Litecoin. And then it just drops down to a largely flat area of 2-3%. If we look at the top losers, again, I know you're crossing your fingers, hoping your coin's not on here. If your coin isn't on here, at least hit the like button. Show a little appreciation for the crypto markets. Show a little appreciation because every like moves Bitcoin up 1 penny. It's a fact. All right, if we look at the top losers, Aptos, Trust Wallet Token, Axie Infinity, Helium. And then pretty quickly, we're talking about the 1% range, except for that little spike with Avalanche. Aptos, me, Johnny, Taco, we're trying to share some ways of, we're investigating airdrops. And we're going to try to find some ways to get you guys free money. Sometimes you have to participate with like $100, $50. Sometimes you can participate with literally zero. You just got to make a wallet. Maybe move like literally 10 cents onto something and do like a little swap, do a little staking. And then you could be eligible for potentially $10,000, $5,000, $1,000. These airdrops are happening on the regular. And as I think protocols know, we maybe have started this 2-year slow grind up. And what's the best time to drop a token? It's when things are on the way up. You don't want to drop a token on the way down. You see it, especially with VC investment, because they have a drip. They might have 12 months of token unlocks or vesting schedules. And so they want to start on this part of the wave, not on this part of the wave or this part of the wave. So, hey, let us know if you like free money. We're going to just do a little investigating into that. Any thoughts on that? I mean, I think it's a perfect thing for Johnny, too. He's a bloodhound when it comes to research.
Yeah, airdrops are definitely an opportunity. I would say only caveat is be careful. Obviously, don't just go clicking anything. Don't, make sure you don't have a lot of funds in the wallet that you're going to be
wallets.
Receiving the airdrop to. But if you can get involved with projects early before they launch and get, like you mentioned, there's been a handful of airdrops that have done really well. A lot of them don't really materialize into much, but like you were mentioning, getting in on the new ecosystem, whether it's Aptos or Sui or some of the ones we've talked about them a decent amount on Blockchain Basement. But yeah, I think it's a great opportunity, and now is the time to do it. The people that were taking advantage in 2019 were very happy in 2020. Like people that were using Uniswap, and like that was when I think of a successful airdrop, I think of the Uni airdrop, where a lot of people made a lot of money.
A lot of people, and also BNB. BNB was another really good one. And to TJ's point, don't do it with your main wallet. A lot of this is very risky. If you need funds to interact with the chain, just have that amount of funds. Have your $5 of Polygon or your $20 of ETH ready to swap over into, a new L2. So just be very, very careful. Don't do it with, if you had a JPEG junkie, maybe don't, try to interact with the Cardano blockchain with some of the stuff. We are going to talk with a quick hit about the Zed coin as well.
Yeah.
Where do we have Frankie at? I kind of want to see these charts. Crazy flat.
Let's bring him up. I'll give
nothing's going on here.
One more tip
Is it your fault?
One more tip on the airdrops, just kind of a sneaky hack. If you're a true degen, like he was saying, you want to interact with a clean wallet. If you interact with multiple clean wallets, it's usually, it'll usually enter you for multiple airdrops.
Yeah, and there are some where they're trying to stop multiple wallets. So if you do, make sure that they don't interact with each other, and maybe even a different IP address. So go to that Walmart or turn on that VPN.
The VPN. What is going on, guys? I hope you're having a good day. And
drop a candle in the chat if you're in the Mafia.
Yeah, shout out to the Candle Mafia. Drop a candle in chat if you guys are in the Candle Mafia. Shout out to the Premium Discord, guys. I'm going to talk about a little scalp trade that we were looking at in the Premium Discord. And then we're going to talk about some key levels that I'm looking at. But unfortunately, guys, yeah, DZ was excited to see me up here squirming.
Hold on. When you're talking about scalp trade, you mean you get the hair follicles from here and then you trade it to the front? Is that what you mean?
That is exactly what I mean. And that would actually, from the back to the front, what did you say?
So that's a high-value trade.
That's a high-value trade right there. And that was an actual example for when you go from the back to the front, that is a long trade. So that is a long position. Shout out to Tony D, +1 Frankie Candles. Shout out to Tony D.
Bang out a good trade.
But yeah, guys, I see all the candles. Shout out to you guys. But yeah, we're going to be taking a look at some key levels. But unfortunately, guys, it's funny that DZ was like, I can't wait to see Frank get up here and try to make something out of these charts, because it really is true. We get a move. Wow, a lot of candles. Shout out to you guys. But we keep coming out of this range, and then it's literally, as soon as we come on the show, it's just right back into the range. So I'm going to kind of talk about some levels that we're watching, and then kind of update you guys on some actual bearish signs that we got on the higher hourly timeframes that have not actually wound up playing out just yet, or may actually wind up not playing out, but they are there. So we do want to take a look at them. And don't forget, guys, today's chart section of the show is brought to you by BitGet. Definitely go check out BitGet. I think TJ will drop a link in the chat, and if not, it is in the description down below. So definitely go check them out. But let's go ahead and jump right in here. Go ahead and switch this chart. These are the most updated levels. Now, guys, I'm going to go ahead and turn the TA off real quick, because I want to bring you up over to the daily. Now, obviously, guys, we are starting to get some red daily candles, which is not too shocking, the fact being that we have just come up basically in a straight line so far. But the VWAP is getting rejected at that 0 line. And another thing I want to bring up here, guys, is you'll remember we have basically been in this exact situation the past few times that I've come up here. But we were looking at the BitLab significant movement indicator here, showing a top signal. Right now, we obviously did go ahead and continue to creep our way up here, but now we are starting to come down. So we do now we're getting unshaded waves on the daily, which could indicate some potential consolidation. But with that being said, if we come on back to our other indicator here, you can see the VWAP is getting rejected at that 0 line, and the VWAP's been below this line for quite some time. So, it's been trying to push down, just really not that much success. You do also want to realize that here yesterday, we were looking at this on my YouTube channel, and that is the 16-hour bearish divergence. You can see we have massively higher highs being created with our momentum coming to the downside, showing a discrepancy between price action and momentum. You have price going up, momentum going down. That warrants a correction to the downside. And we did confirm it here, and we actually did get a slight move to the downside, but really not that big of a move down for something like a 16-hour bear div, especially with the red dot on the daily. A lot of times you will get a pretty big move down off of this. And the fact that we haven't seen that much of a move, you can see the VWAP is already starting to curve back up. I would say that is a little bit more of a good sign than a bad sign, but you do just want to realize that these are confirmed, and they typically are pretty bearish signals. And then on top of that here, if we go ahead to the 4-hour and turn on our TA here, you can see, now I know there is a lot of levels here, but just to show you guys here, we did come up to this blue box, which was a key level of resistance, and then we left this actual blue box to come make a higher high, giving us a 4-hour bearish divergence on the 4-hour. But it's not just a regular bear div, guys. We also have money flow continuously coming to the downside. Also, the BitLab significant movement indicator was giving us a bunch of red waves in this area, letting us know, like, hey, this time frame might be a little overheated. But when you see that signal, especially with the money flow coming out at the same time, that is typically a pretty good top signal. And kind of something I was talking about on my live stream last night was how much these bear divs play out is going to say a lot about what kind of market we're actually in. If this market is truly turning bullish, as you guys know, we've been looking at the higher highs being made on the weekly. This is a very bullish signal, in my opinion, at least in the long term. We can always cool off in the short term, but those higher time frames do still look like they're calling for some more upside, even if we cool off, before we actually get that next leg up. But, if these bearish divergences do not play out aggressively, especially the 16 and the 12 hour, this would show that the bulls are around, right? Even when we're not actually pumping, the bulls are there just eating all this up. So definitely a good sign. But you can see we did get a nice move down here off of that key level. Perfect little close right below that key level. And then let's just talk about some levels that I would be watching here. Now, obviously, guys, if you watch the show, you will know that we have been looking at this range between, we have our volume profile here with our value area low coming in at about 22,570 and our value area high coming in at about 23,200. And we've basically been trading this range nonstop. And then every time we deviate, it's essentially just made for a good position to get back into the range. And then we were looking at some scalps yesterday during the day in the premium Discord, looking for those bullish confirmations at our value area low. You could see we wicked down, tapped that level perfectly, got our bullish confirmations, and now again, a testament to these volume profiles, guys. Once you get into that long position, we were originally targeting the point of control because we know if you find support on the value area low of a value area or a range made by the volume profile, it's very likely for you to come up and visit that POC, which you almost came up and kissed to the dollar last night. And then, that might be a good place to take some profits right down there at the POC. And then once you could get above that POC and flip it to support, you would expect to come up to your value area high. So boom. And this is kind of what I was talking about last time I was on the show, why I trade ranges like this. I'm going to show you a perfect reason why right now. Because as we deviated out of the volume profile here, we were looking for shorts up at this key level. So we rode this short all the way down to the value area low where we were looking to take profits and then look for some potential longs. So you're shorting the top of the range almost perfectly right at the top of that range, shorting it all the way down and then catching that value area low and longing the exact bottom of that range. And then again, you're targeting the POC, eventually the value area high. And if price decided to go super, super bullish, and we wanted to actually finally break out of this range and actually come up to higher prices, you're going to be in that long position. As long as you don't close your whole position here, you can close your whole position there. Still a nice trade for about 2.7%. With leverage, you could turn that into a nice profit. But if price decides to deviate out of this range and potentially go hunt, those higher prices that we've been looking at about 25K, and I'll actually just bring that level up here. This is our next level to the upside coming in at between about 24.8 and about, I believe it is 24.5 or 25.4. If we did wind up deviating and coming up to our next major level of resistance, you're already in a trade all the way from the bottom of this range. And again, because we were in this short from up here, if you broke the range to the downside, you're able to actually ride that trade down. So you're just looking for these small scalps. When price is ranging like this, it actually makes for really, really good trading, right? So you could trade shorting the top of the range, longing the bottom of the range. Obviously, it's not as simple as just coming down to the level and putting in a trade. You want to get certain confirmations. You have to use good risk management. However, you're just getting these little moves between the value area low and the value area high, because as long as price is trading within this range, you're just expecting it to bounce around in this balanced area between that value area high, value area low. And if you're getting into shorts at the highs and longs at the lows, when price decides to deviate from that range, whether it's down or up, you're likely going to be in a trade from the opposite end of that range. So this is just kind of, how we handle things and just kind of the reason behind it. So that trade is doing pretty good. So anybody out there watching this right now on this channel that's in our premium Discord, I would recommend taking some profits at that value area high. If you want to hold on for a chance to maybe deviate from the range and come up higher, that wouldn't be a horrible idea, because we are starting to print some green dots on these medium hourly time frames, like the 4 hour, like the 5 hour. And then that 6 hour looking for a green dot as well. But one thing to remember here is that money flow is still coming out. This is kind of why I have been leaning towards a move to the downside before getting another massive move up. If we are going to get another massive move up or another big leg up to that 25K level, or potentially break into the low volume gap and come up to the 28 to 30K level, I would be looking at the daily VWAP. If you can get a crossover and get a red dot here on that momentum wave, that is likely where I think the next actual big move to the upside will come from. Other than that, levels to the downside remain exactly the same. Obviously, going to be watching this range. If we break out of that range, the real key level here remains the same here, guys. It's at about 22,320. If we lose that level, there is a big fall off in volume, and the next likely stop would be down here at about between about 22K and about 21,850. So the key levels remain almost exactly the same, guys. We are just still in this range, trading, doing these little scalp trades within this range, waiting for price to deviate in either direction. And because we make money, whether the price is going up or down, we will be prepared and likely in a trade in either direction when this thing decides to take off. I believe, is the FOMC meeting tomorrow, TJ? Do you know?
What's today?
Today is Tuesday.
Yeah, the announcement. I think it happens today and tomorrow. And
Okay.
the news comes out tomorrow.
News comes out tomorrow. So be ready for that, guys. I will update the free Discord and the premium Discord if I can get times on that. Just be very, very careful because it will likely get very volatile. So just make sure you are either watching the charts, and if you're going to be away from the charts, make sure you have your stop losses set and your take profits. And shout out to Crypto Billy, guys. Don't forget to follow my YouTube channel, Frankie Candles. We go live every single weekday for 2 full hours. Link is pinned to the top of the chat. So go check that out and subscribe to the channel. Come hang out with us. We do 2 hours of TA. It's a boatload of fun, and we also do give away a ton of stuff. So it's a good time. I think that's all I got. Back to DZ. Bing bong.
Hey, Frank, do you do the timestamps yet?
On the streams?
Yeah, that's the next move. It's a lot of work. All right, cool.
We don't.
All right, where can they find those? Is it just in the description? Do you tweet it?
I think it breaks the actual video down.
Nice. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, so make sure you go check out his channel. He's got to get those subs up, y'all. We got to get those subs up. What's the biggest upside? Dot or Link? That's going to be a tough one. I don't know the APY of Link staking. If Link has a higher APY, it's going to be a lot of selling pressure. So I would say Dot. If it's a low APY, maybe a lot of it won't be as much selling pressure. People will wait 2 years to sell it. So maybe Link. I don't know. That's really close to a coin flip, though.
Yeah, it's tough. They're both strong projects. Obviously, Dot has a bigger market cap already, around double. They're not a huge difference on CoinMarket. Dot's number 12 on CoinMarket. Link is number 21 at 3.5 billion compared to approximately 7.2. So you got to remember it takes more money to move Dot than it would take to move Link. But the tokenomics obviously are very different. There's obviously people building on Dot. There's a lot of momentum behind Dot. So.
I feel better for like a 7-year hold. I would say Link is more likely to still be around versus Dot because Dot has a lot of basically a lot of headwinds trying to be a competing L1, whereas Link just piggybacking as with a monopoly effect on the top L1, which is Ethereum. And so, yeah, Link is 2 different narratives. One's a little bit riskier. Dot has a higher potential upside. Link, less of a chance to go to 0 in a long enough time scale. All right, let's talk a little Bitcoin here. Bitcoin is headed for $25,000, says Peter Brandt, after extremely rare Bitcoin bottom. Continued to trade sideways, threatening to extend its week-long stay within the narrow range. On Sunday, the market cap rose as high as 23,955 before recoiling. This is the second time it has teased 24K this month after tapping 23,800 just last weekend. Brandt says to 25K, he highlighted a double-walled fulcrum pattern, that old famous pattern, the double-walled fulcrum, visible on the Bitcoin chart's 4-hour time frame. According to the pundit, the extremely rare pattern signaled that Bitcoin had already bottomed in the 16K range and was ready for liftoff. He further noted he expects the price to tap 25 in the near term, saying the 2x target is the mid-25s here. I guess this is the fulcrum wall. To me, I thought that was just like a big fat U. Yeah, I mean, that's the double fulcrum. Everyone knows that. On the other hand, Rect Capital believes that the strong monthly close will be crucial for the price in the coming months. Tweeting today, he noted a monthly close above 23.4 would be bullish for Bitcoin. If we look here and we click on monthly, it should maybe say somewhere where our time is. I don't even know how to read this setup. It's normally around here. Maybe someone could. Maybe I'm missing it somewhere. I don't know. But yeah, we're very, very close. I'm not sure exactly what time, but within 6 hours, I want to say that monthly close is going to come to an end. 6 p.m., 7 p.m., it's somewhere around there for Eastern Standard Time. All right, Bitcoin 7-month high dominance has Bitcoin price eyeing also 25K. But will Ethereum spoil the rally? It accounted for 44.8% of the market cap. This is the highest since June of 22. In September, the dominance index was as low as 38.84. I remember we were below 40% there. From a technical perspective, the dominance index may rise further in the coming weeks as it reclaims its 50-week exponential moving average. This is going to be the red wave in this chart below. Once it might bounce down, use that as support, and then it could be off to the races. Or it could spike above it like it did there, and then just fall back down. So there's many ways it could go. It could kind of do this, maybe bounce around on top of it for a while, but it's going to be interesting to see, where this goes in the coming years. On the other hand, once again, Rect Capital, he sees the dominance rising towards 46%, which coincides with the upper trend line of a giant descending channel pattern, as shown in the monthly time frame chart below here. So yeah, you can just see, to me, this kind of just spells the story of more and more stablecoins. When I see this, I just think with the onslaught of stablecoins coming into the ecosystem, it's just the stablecoin slice is going to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow, and it has to take that from somewhere. I think it's going to take a little from Bitcoin, a little from Ethereum, and then, of course, the rest from the altcoins there. I don't see stablecoins, when you zoom out enough, I don't see stablecoins diminishing in the crypto market index or crypto market cap index. I see it just growing. That's my 2 cents. I mean, in what world does it shrink? I mean, they take it off of the chain somehow, then it doesn't pop up in like CoinGecko. Maybe that's going to happen. Do you think we ever reach a point where we have to separate stables from the coin market cap index?
I mean, I think the more data, the better, I think, for making decisions as things go on. So I don't know if you parsing it, separating it, filtering it, sorting it, however you want to describe it. I think, more we can look at different things, the better.
Yeah.
But
the cleaner the data.
Yeah, but it's all digital assets, in my opinion, and it is money in the ecosystem, so it needs to be there. One thing to note, they get really upset if you call Polkadot or Cosmos a layer 1. It's technically a layer 0.
Yeah. So it's interoperable. It's connecting to everybody. To me, it's like I always looked at the layer 0s. It's just it doesn't make any sense. I look at layer 0s as the same thing as 110%. I just don't say it.
Yeah.
But I understand the narrative of why you want to say it's a layer 0. What are your thoughts on?
No, it is different. I mean, it's a different design, and that's part of what makes it unique. But it changes the tokenomics. I mean, that was what some people were saying about DOT in the chat, that there's not a lot of buying pressure on it. Now, the buying pressure comes from the parachains. And again, it's just it's more complicated to get into all these details than it is, for the sake of this show anyway. But
I need to educate myself, so I can explain to a 5-year-old the difference between a parachain and just bridging, or wrapping Bitcoin on ETH is different than a parachain because of these specific reasons.
Right. It's the same concept. It's just a structural design difference. It is similar to a bridge. There's a lot less risk. It's kind of like when you build it from the ground up versus trying to adapt and bridge over midstream. So.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk a little Raoul Pal here. He unveils his 23 Bitcoin and Ethereum forecasts. Imagine this, a positive year ahead here. This is in a new interview with Overpriced JPEG's YouTube channel. That's a good title. I like that title. The macro guru says he believes Bitcoin and ETH will rise in 23, albeit with some chop and unpredictability due to the policy changes from the Fed Reserve here. If you look out over the next year, the S&P did about 10%, NASDAQ did about 14%, tech stocks did about 18%. That was good. Bitcoin did 100%, and that's after it had gone up 400%. All right. Big, bold statement there. I think what we actually got here is a very ordinary recession driven by the Federal Reserve's raising rates and prices going up too fast, which means that people can't buy as much stuff because your wages aren't going as much, and so everything slows down. I think we are going to see a big tapering with inflation just due to the supply glut. I'm hearing a lot of things about just the shipping containers right now being unloaded. There's a lot of things being unloaded that just the stores don't need, warehouses don't need. And so I don't know if we'll see a huge supply glut. I don't think we'll see it with eggs, for instance, but there might be too many igloo coolers at the Walmart. Those type of items, maybe they made too many Ford Focuses. I don't know. We'll see on a long enough time scale if it ends up pushing prices down. We did just do the ATB last night where we talk about the Tesla going down 5K and Ford Mach-E going down 5K. So maybe there is a little bit of truth to this. It's going to be something to watch. Any thoughts of? I don't think deflation, I think eventually this inflation has to slow down just because we're comparing it from 12 months ago.
Yeah, I mean, it is slowing down. It already is slowing. It's not going to stop. And like you said, you're comparing month over month, year over year. So it's not necessarily getting a lot better. But yeah, it's going to slow down for a period anyway. And then they're going to print again.
Cryptos, I wish I would have listened to you guys more at 16K site, now trying to catch up. I do think this is a very strong relief rally. And then typically relief rallies that are this strong, because Bitcoin's up over 40% here, 16K, half of that is 8,024. So we're up about 50%. And so, yeah, I mean, there might be a correction. There still could be time. Don't put all your chips in the basket right now. There could be an opportunity here for it to go down a little bit lower. That's my strategy. I bought some over the weekend, and I bought Filecoin. It's one I've been talking about for a long time. It's something I did want exposure to. So I just market bought on Coinbase like an idiot.
Yeah.
All right. Nothing wrong with Coinbase. No. It's you pay for the ease, but when you look at that, like, y'all just taxed me $27. It's not as good as that $3 ETH gas fee. But you know what? ETH gas fees could be $70. And then you're like, okay, I'm thankful for a $27 fee on Coinbase. All right. Institutions pour capital into Bitcoin at the highest rate since July of last year. This is according to CoinShares. In its latest digital asset fund flows weekly report, CoinShares finds that institutional investors are pouring money into the digital asset markets after a long, dry spell. The focus was almost entirely on Bitcoin, which saw 116 million inflows last week, although there was also minor inflows into short Bitcoin at a 4.4 million. So you're looking at a huge discrepancy there of around roughly 25x. All right, 25 to 1 ratio. The multi-asset investment product saw outflows for the 9th consecutive week, totaling 6.4 million. Suggesting investors are preferring select investments. This was evident in altcoins as Solana, Cardano, and Polygon all saw inflows, while BCH, Stellar, and Uniswap all saw minor outflows. Uniswap. Now, when I see institutional money leaving Uniswap, that makes me think it's universities. I don't know if you remember with Harvard endowment had the big voting block. There's, I think, Harvard and maybe Princeton. I could be wrong about the Princeton part. They have a lot of uni. I wonder if they're dumping. Harvard is a pretty good trader of Bitcoin historically, if you look into what they're doing. I think they front ran Elon by a little bit too. They got in right before Elon, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know. Fact check me on that. Makes me worry. I haven't scaled more into Uniswap, but I'm not looking to sell right now. To me, if I see something like that, like, oh, I see short-term price correction, or I see short-term price dampening on a coin that I believe in, to me, it's just like, all right, we just don't touch it for a year. Don't touch it for 2 years. I'm pretty sure Uniswap will be higher 2 years from now. Like, I'm not betting the whole farm on it, but I feel pretty good about those odds at least. All right, crypto attracts more millionaires, according to a new study. Despite 2018 being a tough year for cryptocurrencies, a new survey by DeVere Group found that 82% of wealthy clients have considered investing in digital assets like Bitcoin in 2022. The 2019 study found that 68% of the individuals were already invested or planning to invest in crypto by the end of 22. Of course, this was in 2019. 2 years of boring price action will maybe shake you out of that. Moreover, a 2020 study from DeVere found that 73% either already own or looking to own by the end of 22. So we went to 68, then we climbed up to 73, and right now we're at 82%. So we're seeing a slow and steady adoption here. This was 2019 poll, 2020 poll, and then this was a new survey, so I assume 22, 23 poll, maybe 23 because it's public on the 30th. So we're seeing up and to the right. Not just H&W people have grown their cryptocurrency holdings in the past year. JP Morgan Chase estimates that over 43 million Americans, or 13% of the population, held crypto at some point in their life. This is an increase from 2020 when only 3% were estimated to have done so. And of this 43 million, 38 million of them held Doge during the all-time high with AMC GameStop.
One thing to note there on that, and it's not too surprising really when you think about logic and statistics and all that sort of stuff. You're talking about high net worth individuals, you're talking about millionaires, multimillionaires. They're more interested in buying it in 2022 than in 2020 and 2021. Well, the prices are coming down, the prices are dropping, and they're like, you know what, I thought this thing was this, I think this technology is pretty legitimate. Now I'm seeing the price pulling back. I'm considering getting in now, and that's the difference between high net worth individuals and a lot of the retail traders. And so just something to note there. A lot of people, if your friends are telling you it's all a scam because look at the prices drop in 2022, but multimillionaires and other high net worth individuals are considering buying, like, who do you want to take advice from? And that's something to consider all the time. The people,
and a lot of times, you know, the smart individual, they're going to do a little bit more research than just the average Joe. And you go into the space, and I'm just going to kind of quickly tell my story. You know, I knew about Bitcoin, you know, 10 years ago at least, on 4chan. Just, I thought it was a scam. Then I had a buddy lose some, but then Mt. Gox. And I just stayed on the sidelines too long. Then 2017, of course, the parabolic price action. I'm starting to watch Antonopoulos, starting to research it. And then I learned about the 4-year cycle. And I was way, way too early in thinking this is the top. I think it was fall because I remember being early in school. I don't know what Bitcoin was at. It wasn't 20 yet. It hit 20 in December. So it was probably 6,000, 8,000, 10,000. And I remember learning about the cycle. And I remember thinking like, oh, it's going to correct. And then it went up another 1,000. Then it went up another 1,000. I stayed on the sidelines the entire time, watch it go up to 20. I thought it was too expensive at 10. I thought it was too expensive at 15. I definitely thought it was too expensive at 20. And I didn't buy until middle of 2018. Now, I thought that was the bottom. Yeah. It just kept going down, just kept going down. But guess what? With my DCA strategy, I caught the bottom. I'm buying a, you know, cheap chain link, and then I'm selling it at a 2x at $4. You know, I'm buying this cheap Ethereum in the hundreds and then selling after it goes up 30%. I thought I was smart back then, but I learned about it. I educated myself about it. And then I purposely waited on the sidelines for 9 months because I thought, you know, the price was going to head down, and I was right. So I think we're seeing a similar thing here. TJ's point is like, yeah, they didn't want to buy in 21, but now they want to buy.
Moral of the story, DZ's an intelligent person. You know, a smart guy. Future high net worth
probably was looking at it at 6,000, like, I can't wait for this to crash.
Yeah.
8,000, 10,000, 12. It's going to go down eventually. Yeah. I probably almost wanted a FOMO buy at 18, knowing me. All right. U.S. stocks. I bought XRP in 2018. I was like, yeah, Bitcoin's so expensive. Look at that XRP. It's going to replace banking. All right. U.S. stocks, treasuries, and Bitcoin tumble ahead of the next Fed meeting. Here's a massive multiplier. No, I'm just kidding here. I was like, wait a minute. I saw this like AAA survival game, and then they have like a bullet shot on this. I was like, wait, what kind of video game is this?
This is intense.
Yeah, are we about to get banned? Wait a minute. That's the new that's the mod pack for GTA 5. There you go. All right. Upon reopening after the Lunar New Year holiday, Chinese markets opened higher, but saw continuous selling throughout the day. Meanwhile, stocks in the U.S. ended lower, following a pattern of overnight drifting and panic bid at the opening, which quickly dissipated and gave way to continued selling. The Dow Jones Industrial Average saw a decline of 0.8%, while NASDAQ experienced a 2% decrease. For stocks, you know, 2% does feel a little bit painful. It was seen as a reload for shorts after Friday's short squeeze, and the recent surge in the market has been described as a dash for trash. People just trying to get these risky assets as they're low. Maybe they're trying to copy what they saw Coinbase do or ARK do. ARK fell today, remains on pace for its best month ever, 25% increase. So they're having a good month after just getting battered and beaten down the tail end or the most of 22, I think there. But I think a lot of those Cathie Wood investments are going to pay off. And everyone's going to say how smart she is a year and a half from now. And then 3 years from now, we'll probably repeat the story. How dumb could she be that she held on to everything? I think she's just kind of a longer term investor there. But man, when you see things drop like 80%, you're just like, that's good. What are we in $5 million market cap altcoins here? All right. Veterans of 2011. Let's see. Yeah, this is more about the stocks dropping here. The U.S. debt ceiling fight see a tougher battle ahead. Now, a Democratic president, Republican majority in the House, and is pushing for sharp spending cuts, a rapidly growing pile of debt, and a showdown that threatens to throw the global economy into turmoil. So there's a lot of looming events. But TJ, do we even care about government shutdowns anymore? Remember how serious they were like 15 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, I don't care about anything that has to do with the government. I'll just say that.
I remember it was like they would talk about like postal workers not getting a paycheck this week. And then by the 8th time it happens, we just see it for what it is, which is just theater.
Yeah.
Two groups of millionaires fighting amongst each other for political clout. And meanwhile, millions, tens of millions, 100 million Americans suffer from that. And so now at this point, it's just, they're just not doing their job.
Political posturing.
They're not doing their job.
Yeah, political posturing, political theater. It just makes me angry the more I think about it, so I try not to think about it.
Yeah. Just let Amazon deliver everything. Yeah. All right, Celsius used new customer funds to pay for withdrawals. This sounds like a little Madoff guy. Let's see. Pillay was appointed by New York Bankruptcy Court to look at whether the crypto lender operated as a Ponzi scheme. Seen here, here's the CoinDesk analyst. Shout out to Crypto Wendy O. Cardano found people, they don't like that guy. Celsius misled its investors and on one occasion used new customer funds to pay for the withdrawals. Okay, on an occasion, the usual definition of a Ponzi scheme. This is from an independent examiner for the New York Bankruptcy Court, said in a Tuesday filing. That is not good. On the 12th, Celsius paused customer withdrawals, and had it not done so, new customer deposits inevitably would have become the only liquid source of coins for Celsius to fund withdrawals. They recognized that it should not use customer assets to purchase the coins necessary to cover liabilities. It justified its use of deposits to fill this hole on the basis that it was not selling customer deposits, but instead posting them as collateral to borrow the necessary coins. So I owe Jim $10 and then John gives me $10. Well, I give John's $10, but it's okay because I didn't steal from John. I gave John an IOU. And that's just as good as cash, y'all. Yeah. Can't you see my colors here? All right. Pillay said Mashinsky's claims to the media and on social media to always have 200% collateral were far off the mark, with 14% of their loans wholly unsecured in December of 2020. That figure rose to nearly 36% by mid-21. And even then, some of the collateral was in unstable assets such as FTT. How the heck were they that bad at 2020 in December? That's like you should be, that's when you're 200%. And then it just shrinks from there on out. I don't, that's not great. Pillay also uncovered significant tax compliance deficiencies, saying that its mining arm may owe about, $23 million in taxes and has reserved 3.7 in liability in UK for value-added tax there. So, huge tax implications on the mining arm. Yeah, if you mine cryptocurrency, you have to pay taxes on that. You get $100 Bitcoin, you're going to have to pay Uncle Sam $20, $10, $30, depending on your tax bracket there, how you structure everything in a corporate structure. But yeah, Uncle Sam, he's getting his piece. He's going to get his piece there. That is not great. All those tax liabilities, you're really supposed to, I'm not saying this is a good thing, but like, if you're running a business, you probably want to pay Uncle Sam before you pay anybody else, because that's going to just lead to everybody losing money. Whereas you can maybe cover some stop losses with, maybe you're just waiting for debts to incur. Maybe you're waiting for a loan to be paid back. Taxman don't play around. Taxman will make you pay for that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Obviously, it's an issue Celsius had from the very beginning. They had very poor accounting, very poor risk management. They didn't really know how much they had. They'd make a lot of false claims, and they were being extremely risky with a lot of other people's funds, which, again, it's a lot easier to be risky with funds when they're not your own, and that's what we see time and time again. Custodians, aren't good custodians, even no matter what they claim. And that's why we know you can't trust. You have to verify for yourself, and we need to get rid of some more of these third-party custodians. This next story, I was hoping we were going to go here. It's just as frustrating.
Yeah. Alameda rises from the dead to sue Voyager Digital for $445 million. Hey, it's just $500 million, y'all. What's $500 million amongst friends? FTX is estimated around 1 million creditors right there. Voyager was a crypto lending company that made loans to FTX and Alameda. FTX had paid about $442 million to Voyager, almost as much as it hopes to get back. The reasoning is that the loan payments were made close to FTX's bankruptcy filing, which means they're eligible to be returned. This can be then be budgeted towards paying FTX creditors back.
So it's not that they didn't owe this money; they're just trying to claw it back. And this is a direct shot. If you know Voyager, now Binance, so they're just trying to basically this is them trying to sue Binance, because they're mad about what happened with Alameda because Binance acquired Voyager in bankruptcy. So it's just all of this stuff between BlockFi, basically everybody's trying to fight each other for money and saying they've got an opportunity between BlockFi and Voyager and Alameda and FTX and all, Three Arrows Capital and all these different bankrupt places doing all these lawsuits. Basically, the only person who's really benefiting from this are the bankruptcy attorneys and the litigation that's going on and trying to, again, line more money to line their own pockets. These are customer funds that they're using to fund these lawsuits. And it's really all it's a shame, and it's a sham, and it's just as frustrating as watching a lot of the political theater. And again, this is the government saying, oh, we're going to step in and make this right, and this is the way we take care of customers, and no customers are getting taken care of. Retail's getting screwed again because this is just going to eat through any funds that were available to go back to creditors are going to get eaten up through these lawsuits and these litigations. They're going to go on for years.
Yeah, just bleed it dry, and that fund just ends up being nothing. Mellow Crypto, you're wrong. That's the wrong you're. It's apostrophe R-E. Why are you wrong? All right. Multiple investigations underway as developments unfold. Meanwhile, there's plenty of updates with respect to FTX and Alameda cases. Alameda liquidators lost 72K. I mean, what did we talk about? 72K here. And Aave tokens when moving funds to a single centralized multi-sig wallet. Hackers also exploited over 1.7 from Alameda wallets. So a lot of mismanagement there. But 72K is just a drop in the bucket when we're looking at everything that happened here. All right, Grayscale slapped with another Grayscale Bitcoin Trust lawsuit, this time from Osprey, not the giant plane. The crypto investment firm claims Grayscale incorrectly treated GBTC's potential conversion to an ETF a foregone conclusion. Now, did they treat it as a foregone conclusion, or were they just maybe too optimistic? I don't know. A competitor of Grayscale has sued the crypto asset manager, claiming they misled investors about its services in an effort to steal market share. Okay, that kind of tells the story right there. It's a competitor. Spokesperson called the lawsuit frivolous in an email to Blockworks. I wouldn't look into this too much. It comes after the CEO earlier this month called his company the best positioned third party to manage Grayscale Bitcoin in an open letter addressed to Digital Currency Group CEO Barry Silbert. So it's just a competitor. They want some of that ETF money. They want some of that institutional money. And I was listening to This Week in Startups, and I was learning a little bit about how that arbitrage of Grayscale was fueling a lot of the stuff you see with FTX. A lot of people are just banking the 10% APY, the 8% APY, the 6% APY. Where does it come from? Where does it come from? A lot. I'm not saying Barry Silbert himself was thinking this, but it appears that a lot of people are just using the arbitrage opportunity with Grayscale, where you instantly you make 2K off that Bitcoin you sell to the institutional investor. Bitcoin's at 19. It was trading for 21. You just pocketed 2K. That's where they were putting a lot of the Bitcoin yield from. That's where they were getting that 8% from. I don't know how true that is. It was just when I heard that, it was like, okay, that kind of makes a little bit of sense. And then as that Grayscale lost the premium, just blew up everything. There was no free 8%. There was no, basically you had to do what banks do when they, try to invest your money, and that's not going to give you 10%. That's not going to give you 20% on a stable coin. All right, let's move on here. Talk about Mongrel. Shout out to the Fortnite players. Where are we at on the likes, by the way?
We were at about 1,000 likes, which is pretty good. We're a little short on viewers today. 3,800 viewers, 1,000 likes. So good job. Everybody's hitting that like button, but we could always use more.
Oh, we could always use more. Let's get up to 1,500. I think we can get up to 1,500. Let's get up to ETH price. Okay, yeah. Every like is going to be ETH's price. So if we only have 1,200, guess what? You're going to tank ETH $380. Do you want to do that, idiots? No, you wanted to pump. Let's get to 2,000. I think we can get to 2,000. All right, Fortnite player Mongrel claims the top score on Bored Ape Yacht Club's viral NFT game, Dookie Dash. I used to watch Mongrel a couple years ago. Very, very good Fortnite pro, and he was really good at build editing, where you have a wall broken into 9 blocks, and you're just moving your mouse all over those 9 blocks, which is similar to how you play Dookie Dash. He set a new high score yesterday. He tweeted the screenshot, which could introduce Fortnite community to NFTs and crypto gaming. He commands a huge gaming audience, and he has over 2 million on Twitter and 4.5 subs on YouTube. Some think this could direct attention to Yuga Labs and the crypto gaming sector in general. The latest sewer pass is the reason why many are attempting to get high scores in Dookie Dash. The score is tied to the NFT, and the highest scores will receive some reward, allegedly. Yuga Labs has not disclosed how valuable the reward will be. Well, they can't, because market will dictate that. But this has not stopped market participants and gamers from playing. Who is this? Who's this author? Mike Truppa. All right, yeah. He just seems to have a lack of understanding with how NFTs are priced. Yeah, we don't really know what's going on with the Dookie Dash. It's going to give you a power source, and then we've seen drawings of Gundam fighters. Maybe the power source powers the Gundams. We don't know. Probably the highest score is going to have like the most bad, mecha. The weak ones is going to be like, you ever watch Power Rangers? Mm-hmm. Like, you're like the saber-tooth tiger. You know, you're like nothing. If you get the high score, you're like, you know, when you're all 5 are combined, you're Ultron. So Taco, he's our resident mongrel. He's got the high score for Justin's, and Justin's giving him a bounty. If Taco can get in the top 2,000, he's gonna like hook up Taco with the NFT or something.
Nice.
So, shout out to Taco. Taco, start watching some Mongrel. Take some notes. All right, Sand. Let's talk a little sand here. Where are my sand fans at? Who's a fan of sand? I'm a fan of sand. Also the crypto. Sand surges 90% since the start of the year of a token unlock. The unlock, scheduled for mid-February, will release 12% of the token supply. That is huge for their market cap. That's 1 out of every 8 tokens. All right, Virtual World Sandbox token is witnessing a surge over the month ahead of its token unlock, which is, you know, a lot of people are seeing some question marks with that. The thing to watch with unlocks is the percentage to investors. If around 50% expect heavy sell pressure, all right, so to investors, if around that, wrote Connor in a report looking at the previous token unlocks and price movement, he concluded that the allocation for this unlock is similar to the August 14th one. So there'll be similar underperformance as sell pressure picks up here. Yeah, that's a lot of tokens. Unlock schedule is due every 6 months until 2025, and it's the same allocation to investors. Therefore, they could look to face serious headwinds until then, according to Ryder. Yeah, that is a lot of token unlocks, but you know, the buying pressure could exceed the selling pressure. I don't think it's likely. Is it being manipulated upward, or is it just, you know, piggybacking off the nice rides with Bitcoin and Ethereum? Probably a little bit of both. Maybe something I'm going to stay away from, though. Although, if you see a huge dump, you don't have another unlock for 6 months, and so there could be a little opportunity there.
Yeah, that's something to you hear us talk about tokenomics a lot on this channel, guys. That's exactly what we're talking about, token unlocks. So right now with Sand, about 50% of the circulating supply is unlocked and is in circulation. So what they're saying is another 12%, you know, gets you to 62%. And then they're going to get less and less, I believe, as time goes on. But 12% of the entire supply, that's a big chunk. Obviously, most of that is going to be going to early stage investors, which are way, way, way up right now, likely going to take profit, which, like what DZ was saying, creates selling pressure, could create an opportunity for you to get in, but it's just something you need to be aware of. Like, and this is why you don't buy into pumps, especially, you know, like, especially with a big token unlock coming, you need to be wary of those. And this doesn't just for Sand, this is for any project when you hear about stuff like this.
And Sand's partnership with Apple is a huge opportunity. I think that increases the value of that token tremendously. So it is something I'm a lot more bullish on than I was, say, a month ago. I wouldn't say it's like my favorite gaming token. I think there's other opportunities there, mostly due to this market cap and its token unlock. But I don't see Apple Sand partnership going nowhere. That's all I'm going to say. It has to do something on a time scale long enough for years. Will it coincide with the next bull run? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it'll be the next one. But it is bullish that they're partnering with one of the top phone manufacturers in the world.
Yeah.
All right. Polygon on OpenSea reaches a new milestone in terms of volume, but reached another milestone on OpenSea. And it showed that the number of users surpassed 1.6 million. And along with that, the weekly volume for the marketplaces observed immense growth over the last few months as well. These surges could be attributed to multiple collabs that they had. Despite the volatility, they partnered with multiple firms and companies. The growing volume and interest resulted in a spike of their total value locked, which increased from right under 1 billion to 1.2 billion in 1 month. This is according to DeFi Llama. Moreover, as total value locked increased, the amount of revenue generated by Polygon grew by 30%. Word on the street is, despite the growing interest in the NFT space, the weighted sentiment for Polygon declined. That suggested that the crypto community had a negative outlook against Polygon at the time of writing. Regardless of these setbacks, 1.6 million users on OpenSea demonstrated the growing interest in the platform and its potential growth in the future. I would say they owe a huge amount to Reddit when it comes to specifically OpenSea NFT volume. I think Reddit is what kicked open those doors. And I know Johnny's super bullish on it. He's looking at some of those gaming tokens. So could be some Polygon opportunity in the next couple of years. I think you can get in on some low microcap gaming tokens, get into that ecosystem, discover what games you like. And I think those $10 million market cap, $1 million market caps could balloon to $150 million market caps. But then you're going to see crazy selling pressure as they dump the token onto everybody. It's like, yeah, I'm making $50 a day. You wake up the next day, making $38 a day. You wake up the next day, it's $20 a day. And then, next thing you know, you're barely afford a cup of coffee, then barely afford a can of soda. And that's typically how gaming tokens go. But Polygon, it's a good buy. I bought some in the last month. It's something that I do want to increase my holdings. Would have been nicer to get in at 2 cents though. Where'd you get in at?
I've not. It was pretty low.
But then you sold. Did you pull?
Yeah, I'm not holding a lot of it right now. I might re-enter pretty soon. But yeah, I did sell a while back. But yeah, when I first started looking at it, it was really, really low. But I probably did get in the under 10 cent range a couple different times. I probably sold on the first big move up to, like $2 or something like that.
Hey, if you wrote it that long, really good job there. All right, ETH network usage skyrockets as ETH hits a 2-month high, baby. Various metrics have continued to show a steady increase in the past few months. According to EtherScan, the number of ETH transferred daily on the network surpassed 1 million again in recent years, indicating the activity has not had any significant decline over the past 3 months. Over the past 6 months, the unique addresses have surged roughly 10%, reaching an all-time high of 221 million. Alongside its other metric growth, there's been a 140% increase in the number of daily verified smart contracts on the network since last year. Data from Ultrasound Money shows issuance is currently deflationary at negative 0.04% a year. That means it is shrinking over time here. So it's a bullish scenario. Now, this doesn't look like a terrible chart either. I'm seeing kind of a clear trend line with higher lows. You're not seeing higher highs, meaning, I forget what is that? Just a bull flag pennant or it's a rising wedge? I don't know. We get Frankie out here. People are like, I thought he knew TA. I only know double fulcrums, people. That's the only thing I know. So yeah, to me, ETH is one that so I bought Filecoin. I was thinking about buying some ETH. It's just the upside is like, I know it's not super great, but I know it's going to be higher than 4K eventually.
Yeah, that's always what happens to me is I go in, I'm thinking, I might look for some alts, and I start digging around, and then I always just end up buying more Ethereum again. And I just tell myself, like, I'll just swap it to something else later. And sometimes I do. I was actually looking at maybe doing some of that last night. But yeah, Ethereum, again, you're looking at risk versus reward, and it depends obviously on what you're trying to do. If you want to take really, really high risks to hit big rewards, that's fine if you want to make the come up. But if you want to put a lot in with very little downside risk, and there's a lot of upside, it's really tough for me to fade Ethereum and some of the other
Did you get
tops.
any under 1,000 2 months ago? I didn't. I think I jumped in a little at like 11 or 12.
Yeah, mine was around it. It was, you're talking about like that 900 when it dipped. No, I didn't get that. Right after it did, it was, but I think it was close to 1,200 when I bought some. Yeah. So, and I've been buying a lot in that range. Anything, again, my number under 20,000 for Bitcoin and under 1,400 for Ethereum was when I'm paying attention, because those are previous cycle all-time highs. So to me, anything below those are oversold, and I accumulate hard. Anything close to them, I feel is good enough for the bottom for me. Like, even thought about buying some on this dip yesterday. Might do some today. We'll see.
All right. Castellerio, ETH upside isn't good. Come on. It will easily hit 15 to 20K in a couple years. Thank you for being my exit liquidity at 8K. Yeah. Now, I'm joking. I'm not saying you're going to buy at 8K. I would be careful with, just thinking for sure it's going to 15, 20, because when it drops from 8, 9, 10, and it starts going down back down to 7, 6, 5, you might be like, dang it, did I just miss the top? And it could happen. So I'm not saying, I don't think ETH hits 20K in 2 years. I'll go ahead and say that. I don't think it hits 10K. I think we'll see, if we see 10K, I think maybe we can mimic ETH's or Bitcoin's pump last cycle, which we went from 20 to 69, which is a 3.5x. So I could potentially see 4,500 having a 3.5x, which is close to 15, or maybe even slightly above. But to me, that just seems a little unlikely. I'm banking on a 2x. Well, what do you think ETH does from its all-time high to the next one? If you just had a guess, I know we're not saying this. I have a little bit of a different thesis than you, obviously, because I think Bitcoin is going to go higher. I think next cycle is the end of diminishing returns, and it's going to surprise a lot of people. I think we've got a lot of people leaning on the more conservative side. So I do think, if we're calling 4,500 the previous all-time high, just for easy math, I think 15 is very achievable. I wouldn't say 20 is easy, but it wouldn't shock me. So. Now, Bitcoin did a 3.5x from all-time high. Do you think that the next all-time high is 3.5x or higher? Or
Higher,
are you thinking
yeah.
like it?
I think it'll be a lot. I think it'll be higher. Yeah.
Okay, so you see over 200.
Yes, I do.
Wow.
Yeah,
I don't
and
see
I think
above 100.
I know. I think a lot of people don't, and I see us over 200 pretty easily. To be
Woo!
honest. Yeah.
Type in what you think Bitcoin all-time high will be. You know, the next bull top 2-3 years from now. Let us know. I'm saying like 95. I think there's a lot of sell pressure around 100. I think maybe we'll just kind of bounce and then push down. Some are saying over 200. So let us know what you think Bitcoin's all-time high is. Super interested in see what the BitSquad thinks here.
Yeah, I'll throw a poll up in a second.
All right, let's talk a little SEC here, the LBRY case. I saw some people type in when Frankie was talking, they won. I went on Twitter, I was like, it didn't look like that's the case here. SEC settles on security claim in LBRY case. Community calls it a big win for crypto. I would say the same thing. It was hoping to seek affirmation on ambiguous injunction after scoring a victory during a hearing in November, but judges made it clear that it was only for the direct sale. The SEC admitted on record the sale of LBRY credit tokens in the secondary market doesn't constitute a security. This came during an appeal hearing in the LBRY versus SEC case on the 30th. The key takeaway I think people are kind of skipping because it fits their narrative is a secondary market. So the selling on the secondary market doesn't constitute a security. It was awarded summary judgment in favor during the November 7th hearing. The judgment categorized each sale of the LBC token during a 6-year period as an investment contract without going into detail about the transaction specifics. The SEC hoped to advance its effort to gain legitimacy in the secondary market and bring it under its purview as well. And they asked the New Hampshire judge to affirm the wide ambiguous injunction prohibiting its sale. They've been reading too much legalese. They got to lower that reading level there back to what newspapers do, 5th grade or something like that.
Yeah, it used to be 8th grade. I think 5th grade's about right.
I remember saying that. I said that to Nick, actually, weirdly enough. It was like a couple weeks ago. I was like, yeah, it's 8th grade. He's like, it's 5th grade.
Yeah, it's going, and it might be it'll be 3rd grade before we know it.
Deaton persuaded the judge that LBC secondary market transactions were not securities. That is huge. So that means like Uniswap, it isn't securities, is essentially what you can take away from that. So pretty bullish news as a whole. Will this translate into the Ripple case? It doesn't necessarily mean that. That's going to be an independent event, but it's grains of sand on the right side of the scale. All right, 100K, 26%, 100 to 150, 47%, 150 to 2, 15%, and the 200 plus, 1 out of 8 of y'all. Now it's 11%, was 12%.
Yeah, we only have 300 votes. Vote, guys. Keep voting. I'm really curious to see the end results here.
Yeah, I miss Naomi. Yeah, Naomi is a huge part of that LBRY case. So some would say John Deaton called her the catalyst. Let me share that tweet. I was looking at that when people were saying that they won, because we do love Naomi. She's fantastic. John E. Deaton. I think.
Naomi Brockwell, guys, if you don't know her, she's been very involved in this space for a really long time. Big privacy advocate. A lot of really good content on how to protect your privacy. So, shout out to her.
She got an interview with Snowden and stuff. All right, this is John Deaton's tweet 47 minutes ago. As for the LBRY hearing, I appreciate the support people have shown, but please know, without Naomi Brockwell, we wouldn't have even been allowed to speak. She was the one that ultimately said, John, let's fight back. If any credit is to be given, she deserves it. So shout out to Naomi. Big fans over here. All right, where are we at here? Let's see. That was the ETH. We're on the LBRY. XRP Army. Where are you at? Hit that like button. Did we get to 1,500? Have we hit ETH's price?
We are at 1370.
Guys, you must want Ether to fall. Okay, I'm looking at it right now. It's 1592. All right, we got to get that up. I know we can just get a couple hundred out here. 292. Let's get it, everybody. Every like also makes Bitcoin go up 1 penny. Never forget that. It is a fact. All right, XRP Toolkit, now supported by Web3 domain provider Unstoppable Domains. Also, friends of the channel on many of the early ATV episodes there. It's a Web3 provider. It's kind of a competitor of ENS, but slightly different. Has announced its added support for XRP. They're not. ENS is mostly Ethereum. Web3, they're trying to be everywhere here. This is added support for the toolkit. And this is according to their Monday announcement. The toolkit makes it much simpler to securely manage and interact with assets on the ledger. Furthermore, those using the toolkit are engaging in peer-to-peer trading with all actions being settled through the XRPL, which is comprised of thousands of nodes. And Unstoppable Domains noted the toolkit has features like escrow and trust lines there. So shout out to Unstoppable Domains, building on the Ripple, building on XRPL. doing a lot of good stuff for the ecosystem on a lot of coins. All right. Ripple reports records demands for its XRP-powered liquidity solution here. Let's see. The number of transactions rose. The amount of XRP paid in fees is falling by a third. And the average cost of a transaction in USD was very near to $0. That's what we need if we want mass adoption for any kind of payment rails. At the same time, the average cost on ETH and Bitcoin, $2.75 and $1.23 respectively. So yeah, no big news here. XRP is going to be a lot cheaper for sending transactions. Let me do this quick hit. I don't know if there's any questions in the chat here. I want to talk about Cardano's ZED stablecoin. When I looked around 9:30 this morning when I got in the office, they had just passed 1 million stablecoins on the Cardano mainnet. I think it's at 1.2 at this point. So Cardano ZED stablecoin hits the mainnet. ZED is an algorithmically stabilized coin on Cardano. Its native over collateralized stablecoin went live on the mainnet more than a year after preparations, developments, and successful security audit. This is from the Cody team. If you want to support, I mean, it is on Coinbase. You don't have to, actually don't buy Cody like with the Nami wallet. You can just get it on Coinbase. According to a press release shared with Crypto Potato, the Cody network revealed its intention to add coins, especially wrapped assets such as wrapped Bitcoin and wrapped Ether, as collateral to mint ZED on the Cardano network. So it's using a basket of currencies here. If we look, I do want to share this because I was expecting, it went live today. I was like, oh man, they're going to have crazy price action. It's going to be real high. It's going to be real low. I don't know what's going to be happening. Oh, wait. No, sorry. ZED actually isn't up yet. It's $1. When I last looked, it was remaining stable here. Cody actually down on the news. You can see it looks like they front ran it over the month. And this is just an example of buy the rumor, sell the news. We talk about it all the time. What does it mean? It means you expect it to be pumping on the day it launches. This happened on 1/26. So this pumped 5 days before it launched. So this is a buy the rumor, sell the news. People are obviously kind of expecting it. If we look at the all-time chart for Cody, that kind of shares the picture there. There's still upside. So hey, if this is a huge part of Cardano DeFi, I maybe a little opportunity there for 2 years. But all right, any questions here? What's the status?
No. I wanted to wrap up this poll here. This is pretty interesting. So we got 27% at 100K, 45 at 150. So obviously the large majority in that 100 to 150 range, which isn't surprising. And that's why I think more in that 150 to 200 range. Obviously, I'm on the bullish side, but I think it's because we got our expectations so tempered last time. People are trying to hedge their bets a little bit this time. And people are asking, oh, do you think this is the year institutions come in? I really think institutions were in 2021, 2022, and that's part of what caused us to, not get the traditional cycle we have. I see nations coming in this next cycle, and that's why I think it's going to be bigger than the last one. But we'll just have to wait and see. As far as questions go,
any news on the bill? I saw that.
Yeah, that one did come up. I don't have a good update on that right now. I was talking to Ben about it earlier. He'll have to give us more information on that when he comes back. I know there is stuff in progress, in process, but I don't have up-to-date information to really be able to speak to that. So we'll just have to wait.
Someone said, I love your music. I am not this guy. Guys, this isn't me. This DZ guy. No, this guy's some scammer. No, he's not a scammer. All right. At DZ's been basically dead for many, many years. And then all of a sudden it popped up on this guy's account with 50,000 followers out of nowhere. I'm going to make it my personal mission to beat him. I am the DZ.
Wow.
Okay? I am DZ.
That's an old account, 2009.
Yeah, he looks like a mixture of me and Mason.
Yeah, he does look like Mason. You're right. Tatted up. Interesting. I wonder if that's an AI.
Johnny. Yeah. It's me, Mason, and Johnny right there. Any other questions? All right. I think that's all we got. Frankie Candle is going to be live 5:45. I'll be here around the blockchain. Basement's going to be at 1:15.
Yep.
We got another video coming up at what time on the main channel?
I don't know.
8 p.m. 3. So make sure you check that out. And I think that's all we got. All right, everybody. Until next time. Be easy. Buy Bitcoin. Every like makes it go up a penny.